name's Adam Walsh. I'm the Roast Master and Director of Coffee Brewing Education for JBC Coffee Roasters in Madison, Wisconsin. So the beginning of the process would be us receiving a small 300-gram green coffee sample from a green broker. We would then sample roast and cup that coffee for sensory evaluation purposes to decide whether that coffee contained the proper attributes that we were looking for and that it was of a high enough quality for us to decide to want to buy it and bring it in here. At that point, we then have the coffee shipped to us. Generally, it comes in 150-pound burlap bags stacked on pallets, usually 10 bags to a pallet. We then store the green coffee in a separated room from the rest of our shop to help control temperature and humidity. Stable conditions are by far the best way to keep a coffee fresh. Green coffee can go stale over an extended period of time, about 1.5 to 2 years, depending on the coffee. The larger production roaster that we use on a almost daily basis for our roasting purposes has a given size limit to the amount of coffee and weight that it can handle per batch. So at that point, I then go through the process of deciding what coffees I need to roast depending on the orders that we've taken in for that given day, at which point I write the roast log, giving myself a much better idea of the coffees I need to roast and what order I need to roast them in. At that point, I then go into the green room and start weighing out or bucketing the coffees into the given weights required per batch for our roaster. At the end of any given cycle of roasting, I would then load the hopper with the next cycle to be dropped into the machine once the machine has reached the specific temp that I'm looking for. So the rotation of the drum, and internally what you are not able to see is there are many different fins within that drum that help stir and mix the coffee on a continual basis, the purpose of which is to help avoid prolonged contact of any specific coffee bean with the surface of the drum. We want to maintain a consistent and relatively fast bean movement to help even out the introduction of heat to the coffee to avoid any scorching, tipping, or burning. A large portion of roasting is accuracy. That is the reason that we use digital temperature logging equipment, as well as I take manual time and temperature readings and record those. It's incredibly important to maintain consistency throughout the roast. So at the end of the roasting process, once the coffee has reached the desired time and temperature frame that I'm looking for a specific profile, I then immediately remove the coffee or dump it from the drum into the cooling tray. The purpose of which is to cool the coffee down as quickly as possible to help stop all those chemical reactions that are taking place and freeze or preserve the flavors that we have developed within the roast. As the coffee is being dropped into the cooling tray, there is a rotating armature that helps spread the coffee evenly and consistently throughout the cooling tray, at which point there is also cold ambient room temperature air being pulled down through the coffee to help expedite the cooling process. I then remove the coffee from the cooling tray into Rubbermaid totes, which I then have to weigh to measure the amount of moisture loss that I've received throughout the roasting process. Then those totes are taken to the production area, at which point I will immediately begin blending, packaging, and sealing bags for delivery. So at the beginning of the production process, I take note of what has been ordered. I then begin to fill those bags, whether they be 5-pound bulk bags or 12-ounce retail bags. The 12-ounce retail bags will vary by color and design on the front relating to its origin. Our clientele can vary pretty widely, ranging all the way from large wholesale cafes, which would generally take many 5-pound bags at a time, to home enthusiasts, which may order only 1 or 2 12-ounce bags at a time. The best part of being a coffee roaster, part of me would have to say that it's the opportunity for creation on a day-to-day basis. It's the love of the craft, getting to create something with my own hands every day that hundreds and thousands of people get to enjoy in their daily lives.